If you could save a significant amount of money on your telecommunications network and decrease response time with one product that's installed just once for all your MVS subsystems, would you be interested? If you're concerned with bottom-line results, the answer is undoubtedly yes. For quite some time, professionals responsible for VTAM operations have anxiously awaited a product that would significantly reduce the length of inbound and outbound VTAM data streams and ultimately reduce telecommunications costs. And now, the wait is over. From the one company that has more than 12 years of experience developing and improving optimization products comes the latest and most sophisticated one to date. UltraOpt VTAM from BMC Software. Whether you've already installed optimizer products or held out for one that'll do it all, this product is the clear choice. If this is your first venture into optimization, you might be wondering, what is optimization and why is it even necessary? It's a good question. To answer it, let's look at a typical production environment. Here, running on the mainframe are all your subsystems, CICS, IMS, TSO, and so forth. And of course, terminals that use these subsystems might be located anywhere in the world. Now, for the subsystems to communicate with the terminals, a series of complex devices are installed. Information going to the terminal from a subsystem first goes to VTAM. Then VTAM communicates the information to a telecommunications link that extends from the mainframe to the terminal control unit. And from this unit, the information is sent to its final destination at the terminals, where it's displayed. Needless to say, this is a complex process, but there is one component in the entire operation that affects system performance more than any other, and that is the amount of information being transmitted. Why? Because the more information being transmitted, the more time it takes. And you're probably already aware of just how much time we're talking about. Time between the terminal and the control unit is about 1/1000th of a second. And processing within VTAM and the subsystem typically takes about 1/100th of a second, depending upon the application and size of the CPU. No time problem in either of those two areas. As you know, the problem area is here, in the telecommunications links. Without any optimization, the response time between the subsystem and the control unit can range from 3 to 10 seconds, and that's just too slow. But it isn't just response time that's a concern. Slow information can also be very, very costly. As more information is transmitted, the longer it takes for the data to reach its destination due to queuing in the network. Since it now takes longer for data to travel, more traffic clogs the data links. For this higher volume, more and faster lines are needed, and more lines means higher telecommunications costs. So you can see how the whole thing can snowball out of control. But this isn't a new phenomenon. People were having the same kinds of problems back in 1980. Undoubtedly, something needed to be done. Transmission had to speed up, or the amount of data had to be reduced. It took technology developed by BMC Software to do both. In 1980, BMC introduced its first product using conventional optimization. The general idea was, let's make data smaller by eliminating repeating strings of characters and replacing them with repeat-to-address orders. With a smaller amount of data to transmit, the transmission will be faster. It was a sound idea, and it worked. The average reduction in response time was 25%. But the experts at BMC Software saw this as only the beginning, an opportunity to perfect their optimization technology, and they set out to do just that. The second generation of BMC optimizer products refined the original technology and added such features as blank elimination and field merge. With this product, the overall reduction in data streams was about 30%. Convinced they could make even further improvements, BMC went to work on a brand new technology. And in 1985, they introduced the 3270 Super Optimizer for CICS, which optimized data streams using a revolutionary technique called imaging. Here's how imaging works. When a screen is displayed on a terminal, the Super Optimizer remembers what was displayed. So when information needs to be updated, instead of sending over all the data, the Super Optimizer sends only the data that changes. Super optimizers reduce data streams overall by 60%, and an average 10-second response time was decreased to just about 4 seconds. It was a significant improvement, but the leaders at BMC had already set their sights on refining and maximizing imaging's potential. Over the years, they've made tremendous advancements. BMC's 4 optimization patents, including such important features as input suppression optimization, erase input key allowed, and double byte character set, have fully utilized the imaging technology. These refinements have enabled users of CICS, IMS, and TSO to reduce data streams overall by an average of 70%. While BMC was developing super optimizers for CICS, IMS, and TSO, VTAM users were patiently waiting for a super optimizer technology of their own, one that would solve network and CPU performance problems for the entire network, not just a single subsystem. What VTAM users didn't know was that BMC was actively inventing something truly revolutionary for VTAM users. Their new UltraOpt VTAM not only provides all the super optimizer features, it also delivers another new optimization technology. This new breakthrough is called Local Format Storage Support, and it's available only from BMC Software to all VTAM customers who have IBM 3174 controllers. Now you can finally take advantage of that special 3174 storage feature, and what that means to you is substantial savings in terms of both time and money. So far, we've seen BMC's optimization technology advance from an overall reduction in data streams from 25% to 70%. With local format storage, however, the reduction increases even more to an outstanding 85%. An increase from 70 to 85% is extremely impressive, especially when you consider that BMC has reduced the remaining network traffic from 30% to only 15%. In essence, they've cut the remaining traffic in half. Local format storage, or LFS, functions much like a cache memory. When an application program requests a screen, UltraOpt VTAM stores that screen as a local format in the specially allocated controller memory. Then, when that screen is requested again, it's immediately retrieved from the controller's local memory, updated, and displayed. So the host application doesn't have to retransmit the format across the network. And all this is totally transparent to the user. The benefits of the LFS technology are unmistakable. Because formats are available locally from the controller instead of the subsystem, network traffic on your telecommunications links is immediately reduced. Because the links are carrying less data, they have even more message capacity, which makes your existing telecommunications system even more efficient. Now you don't have to be bogged down in the routine of adding more and faster links. UltraOpt VTAM allows you to better utilize what you've got so you don't have to install more. In fact, you can add terminals to your control units, and you can extend them to additional sites. You may even find that you're able to reduce the speed of the links you have. Because the data streams have been drastically reduced in size, UltraOpt VTAM can reduce satellite transmission costs when you pay by the number of characters transmitted. And your organization will save on equipment costs because this technology reduces the need for faster modems, additional control units, and frequent upgrades of the communications controller. Because UltraOpt VTAM significantly improves response time, the number of line turnarounds can also be reduced. And as you probably guessed, both the NCP and VTAM itself have less work to do. This also helps decrease response time as well as reduce the amount of CPU time and storage. All this is extraordinarily impressive. But LFS isn't the only exciting feature of the new UltraOpt VTAM. As it turns out, UltraOpt VTAM can also reduce the CPU overhead related to the operation of a session manager, and that's a benefit almost every shop can use. Let's take a look at how UltraOpt VTAM can complement session managers. In many shops, terminal operators would like to work within CICS, TSO, or IMS at the same time. Fortunately, session managers have enabled them to log on to numerous sessions concurrently and switch between them on demand. But the multiple sends and receives involved when using a session manager require immense CPU resources. The result is a dramatic increase in response time. As you know, this detrimental effect can severely limit the actual use of a session manager. But UltraOpt VTAM fits in right here, between VTAM and all the subsystems. And using an exclusive feature called Bypass Send Receive, or BSR, UltraOpt VTAM shortcuts the process. Here's how. When a session manager is in session with another application on the same MVS host, UltraOpt VTAM completes the application-to-application sends and receives without any involvement from VTAM. Recent benchmark tests confirm the significant improvements of UltraOpt VTAM. When compared to the Super Optimizer products, UltraOpt VTAM decreased CPU usage by 24%. And when a Session Manager product was installed, CPU usage was reduced by 33%. Throughput comparisons were also made. The results prove that the rate of transactions per second increased 25% with UltraOpt VTAM when compared to the current Super Optimizer products. And when session managers are in use, throughput increased 27%. And these numbers become even more significant if you currently have no optimizer installed in your system. Interestingly, the tests also showed that when IMS is nearly 100% CPU busy, UltraOpt VTAM provides 20% greater throughput. In other words, when IMS is near capacity, UltraOpt VTAM can put 20% more transactions through the system. The final UltraOpt VTAM benchmark test measured the reduction of inbound and outbound traffic. The first test measured optimization without local format storage, and optimization increased 54.74%. When LFS was installed, optimization was again measured. This time, the remaining traffic on the line was cut in half, and optimization increased by more than 80%. Clearly, these benchmark results show that UltraOpt VTAM is easily justified and can be a significant factor in cost-effective operations. But there's also one other thing to consider that makes this the optimizer choice. It's a BMC Software product, and that's significant. Not only do you get the highest quality product, you also receive the best support, solid technical knowledge, and the benefit of years of experience in optimizer technology. Developing the breakthrough technology behind UltraOpt VTAM was simply a continuation of BMC's technological firsts. BMC's entire business philosophy is based on offering profound solutions to real-world problems. That includes your company's problems. UltraOpt VTAM is a product that your company can put to use right now to see immediate, tangible benefits. Best of all, BMC Software is so confident you'll like the results, they offer a no-obligation, 30-day plus free trial in your production environment before you make a decision to purchase. It's a straightforward offer from a company that's the recognized worldwide leader in system software products for mainframe computers.